Welcome to another episode, everybody.
It's the Buko Boys podcast.
I'm Dale.
I'm DVO.
And we got another show for you guys.
We are back from San Diego, sunny San Diego.
Right, and I actually, since we came back, I had to make another trip out to Sacramento. And in doing that, the smoke out there is insane.
Yeah, it looks crazy out there.
Like, we were in Southern California, and there was smoke rolling over the hills on our drive home.
Uh-huh.
And then going straight across from Salt Lake into Sacramento, the moment I peeked over Tahoe and came into the California side,
okay,
smoke. You can't see anything. It's just smoke. All the way into Sacramento. And Sacramento is just, everyone has to walk around with masks on. It is that smoky. It's crazy.
I feel bad from that. I just watched a video today. Somebody recorded themselves driving through fire, and they were just so scared their tires would melt. Yeah, they were trying to get out of there.
I've heard other stories similar where their cars are catching on fire as they're driving through. And like one lady was talking to her husband, and her husband told her to get out of the car and run. Like if she's going to die fighting. So she did, and she got picked up by some firefighters.
Oh, good.
So she actually survived, but there's been a lot of deaths. There's a lot of people missing. I mean, a whole city's been burned down.
And the pets too. They're finding pets.
There was a lady, I just saw a video. She drove. She went and rescued 48 horses.
Wow.
And you could see her drive on the way out of there. It's like that's scary. Like she's driving through fire and smoke. Went through a tunnel. Coming out of that tunnel, just nothing but red.
That's scary.
It's so scary.
I know a lot of Utah firefighters are I know they were prepping a couple days ago, so I'm sure they're there now. But we wish you guys safe return and good luck out there. And thanks for fighting the fight.
Yep, good local heroes going out there to help other heroes.
Yeah. It looks crazy. I think were you telling me that it was really smoky out there, like the air?
Oh yeah, you can't see, let alone want to breathe that in. It's bad.
Yeah, so scary. So wish everyone the best out there.
Yeah, and hopefully they find more people alive than dead. Because there's a lot of people unaccounted for at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the people that lost their homes, people that are missing, or who knows, presumed dead maybe, and even the animals that are in shelters because they don't know, people don't know where their pets are, and yeah, that sucks.
Yes, it does. And so, and another bad thing that we found out this week is Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics, had passed away.
Yeah, unfortunate news. I know we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on in this episode. So yeah, sad news. Since obviously, if you've listened to our podcast, we love Marvel movies and superhero movies. So we're gonna talk about that in a little bit.
I got my Incredible Hulk beanie on today.
Is that in remembrance wearing the Incredible Hulk beanie?
Yep, that's what I had in my something I could wear for this episode, I guess.
Well, while we were out there in San Diego, we actually went out there, as you probably heard, for a family situation. But the good news is we made it we had the silver lining of making it into a reunion, being able to see a lot of friends and family. So we would go give our love out there. And obviously one of my best friends lives down there now, Ezra Wood. And when I say one of my best friends, we've known each other since 7th grade.
He's a beautiful man, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Beautiful. And I was very fortunate. He actually flew all the way out from San Diego to be one of my groomsmen in my wedding. That's how close we are. Do you remember the best man at my wedding?
'Twas I.
So anyway, he shared with me a ghost story. So I know we've been asking people to send in their ghost stories. We've got a couple in. So I'm going to share this story that he shared with me. Ironically enough, it all kind of ties in because he lives in San Diego. We were in San Diego, and his house was in Midvale.
Oh.
So as you probably know from one of our past episodes, Living with Ghosts, Dale shared stories of our house when we lived in Midvale. So Ezra lived in Midvale, and that's obviously why we went to school together. So he shared this story. So I remember this story, and I kind of was relating it to him, and he actually clarified it for me. But it said it actually stemmed before. So I'll tell you actually kind of two ghost stories. The first one was he was much younger, and he was kind of walking through the house, and he walked past the bathroom, and he saw someone shaving in his bathroom. So he didn't think, he was just like, I wonder who that is. And he kind of backtracked and looked into the bathroom, and that there's a gentleman shaving in his bathroom, looks over at him, and then walks through the mirror.
Crazy.
Pretty interesting, right?
Right.
He like sees a whole apparition. Fast forward many years later, he's actually he's downstairs.
So nothing has happened otherwise besides that up
Yeah.
until that other point.
Until this
point.
That,
And,
that
and
he
how
knows
many
of.
years of a gap is there?
I don't know actually. I didn't ask, so that's a good question.
Okay.
But he's down in the basement. He and his father, and they're watching TV. So his father is in his recliner, and he has a revolver, and he always kind of plays with his revolver, spins it, just plays with it. It's unloaded, so don't worry. But his dad always sat in his recliner, played with his revolver,
And then that was a fidget spinner.
yeah,
OG fidget
that's the
spinner.
right way to do it. You get fidgety, that's the
Yeah.
right way to do it.
You don't need these stupid toys.
No.
You get your revolver out like a man.
Exactly. So his dad's just kind of sitting in his recliner, playing with his gun, watching the show. Ezra's lying across the couch. And then he sees in his peripheral someone walk and stand in the doorway. And Ezra thinks he's the only one that sees this. And then his dad kind of just says, "What do you want?" And Ezra kind of looks over thinking his dad's talking to him. So he kind of goes, "What, Dad?" And he says, "What do you want?" And Ezra goes, "Nothing." He's like, "Just get out of here." And Ezra goes, "What are you talking about?" So he kind of, he figures it out and says, Did you see that too?" And his dad goes, "I see him once in a while." So it's actually happens
in the
frequently.
house.
His dad obviously just kind of ignores it, but he didn't look. His dad didn't look. He didn't acknowledge it. He just kind of just said, "What do you want?" So I got goosebumps actually telling that story. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, interesting story. So that's another house out in Midvale.
So speaking of Midvale and ghosts, there was actually another time when you brought up the story last week where you felt that poke, and I asked
Okay.
you, did it feel like it poked you and pushed you?
Okay.
That was because, and I thought I had mentioned it in that episode about being poked in the house.
Okay.
Because there was one time where I was walking out of your old bedroom that was down in the basement, and because that was changed into
Why are you creeping around my bedroom?
because that was the computer room. We changed that
okay.
to the computer room, and so I was using the internet
Okay.
back, AOL chat room nonsense.
dial up.
So, anyways, I remember walking out of that room while Mom was coming out of her room, and we were kind of meeting in that little landing area by the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
And as I came through the threshold of the door, I felt like a finger poked me in the back of my shoulder and pushed me forward. And,
wow.
and it was just gone. And I asked, "Mom, did you just see my shoulder move?" And
Uh-huh.
she said, "Yeah, I saw that." And I told her I just got poked. But she just ignored it, played it off, and was never spoke of again.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Sorry, I have a little congestion today. I feel like I'm coming down with something. So you might hear me breathing funny or whatever. Don't think I'm asthmatic.
No, we saw a couple of movie trailers.
Oh, hold on. There was actually another one I was going to tell you about the house. I did not mention this in the episode because something made me remember it today. There was a time where after we had moved out, actually you were still living there and you were dating KJ.
Okay.
And you guys were up in your room, and I came in. I didn't live there at the time, but I came over and we were in there talking, and I came out of your room going down that hallway of the living room. And as I was walking down the hall, all of a sudden it just felt thick. And it was just like, almost like a wall of molasses.
Interesting.
And just like thickness. And for some reason, as this happened, it just like I knew what to do. And I just pushed forward through it. And it was just a thickness. I can't explain it besides that. And as I took like 1 or 2 steps through it, it just was gone. And I just walked normally. And trying not to think much of it, I just continued on without, in my head, I'm like, what the hell was that? But it was so weird that I just knew how to just push through it. But I just acted like nothing happened. But it was a really weird situation. But and this was years after anything had, a lot of things had stopped happening to me. This was probably like 6 years after everything had stopped.
Okay.
And that push I felt was like another, that had to have been like 4 or 5 years after everything had stopped also.
Okay, wow. Pretty interesting.
Midvale.
All right, going back, so there's some new movie trailers that came out, and a few of them are a little bit nostalgic. I'm excited about.
Okay.
One I'm not so excited about. Okay. I don't know if you are.
Well, I have mixed feelings about it.
It's the Pikachu detective,
Yes.
and Ryan Reynolds plays the voice.
And that's why I want to see it.
Because of Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Maybe that's why I don't want to see it. I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
But playing that character.
Can he do wrong, though?
There's a few movies I don't like of his.
Like,
I don't remember.
Even the cheesy love movies I liked. Like the one with him and Sandra Bullock.
I didn't watch that one.
That was so corny, but it was good.
How about the one where he hears voices in his head to kill people?
Actually, I want to see that. There was one time I was going to watch that, and then I forgot.
I didn't really care.
Because I didn't have the time at the time to just finish it, so I didn't start it, and I forgot about it. So I would like to watch it.
I didn't care for that one.
So really?
I didn't care for it. No.
Okay, but really, he's the reason why I would see this movie.
So the premise is the catcher. I don't know. I'm not familiar.
He's
with
like a wannabe trainer.
Pokemon stuff.
I didn't. Pokemon came out like after I was. It was too young. It was for a younger audience. It wasn't for our age group.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't for my age group for sure. And so I don't get it, but obviously when Pikachu talks, he only says one word. That's his name, I guess. But apparently his trainer can actually understand him, and that's Ryan Reynolds' voice. And it's a mix of live action and CGI.
It looks silly, but
what part of the trailer did interest you? Do you remember?
It's more of like the comedy that Ryan Reynolds brings. Like,
because he's hilarious,
right? And then the things he says in the trailer, because a lot of people can't understand him, I guess everyone hears him say that besides this kid. So when he's just like, okay, just being like, a lot of sarcasm. It's just he's funny. So I'm gonna let it like be out for a week or two and kind of see people's reviews before I actually pay money to see this.
Okay, fair enough.
But as of where it sits right now, I am interested.
Okay. And I am not interested. But we'll see how reviews are. There was a couple more.
Bumblebee.
Let's talk about that one at the end.
Dumbo.
Yes.
Dumbo.
I really like how Disney
action Dumbo
is doing these live action ones. Mm-hmm. I love Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast.
I didn't watch the Cinderella live action.
It's a good one. I think I took our girls to it.
Yeah, that's one I did not see, but I did watch the Beauty and the Beast.
What'd you think?
It was identical to the cartoon. It followed almost verbatim.
Yeah.
But so I liked it, I guess, because I liked the cartoon. It just kind of gave it a different face.
Yeah, I liked it. Maleficent.
Okay, well, that wasn't recreated, though. That was
that's true. But it was like a live action, Disney from the
Sleeping
characters.
Beauty.
What's that?
Sleeping Beauty.
From Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
I love that one. I don't know. Did you like that one?
It was okay. I did actually like it, but it kind of took it to a different place. Like it was a lot different than.
Yeah, because it was original.
Yeah. But it was still good.
What were some of the other Snow White? Did Disney do that one?
No, that was not Disney.
Okay, that wasn't Disney.
Because that's Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, I did like that though.
It was good, but
even though I'm not a big fan of that actress, I did like that.
That's
movie.
kind of what I didn't like her either.
Right.
I like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
because he's kind of
funny.
a Marvel thing.
Did they do another live action one? Or is there another one coming out besides Dumbo?
There's another one coming out, Aladdin.
Oh, Jungle Book.
Oh yeah, they did do a Jungle Book.
I love Jungle Book.
Yeah, with Bill Murray as Baloo. Yeah. That was good.
In fact, that went on another rabbit hole. Sorry, they're actually doing a Mowgli Netflix movie.
Netflix, yes.
I want to see that.
We want to go down the Netflix wormhole, yeah.
So we'll get to that another episode because that's another we can jump down there later because that looks good. But Jungle Book, yeah. So I love Disney's live action remakes. I think they've done a really good job.
Yeah, and so that new Aladdin one just got announced too.
Yeah, no trailer, right?
No trailer.
I think they have the actors.
They just got the actors,
but
right?
no trailer yet. Dumbo looks good. I'm excited to see Dumbo.
Right, because that's gonna be a tearjerker. I never cried as a kid in movies, so like that whole scene was sad that everyone talks about crying at. Never affected me
till you had kids.
But I've never watched it since then.
The movie? Oh, I just read that it's actually Disney's shortest film, 64 minutes.
Good.
Interesting. Yeah.
You're gonna get the tears out fast, I guess. So
no, the cartoon.
So let's see how.
The cartoon.
Oh, okay. So let's see how this movie if it makes me emotional or not.
Now the next one you talked about was Bumblebee.
Yes.
I'm super excited for this one.
Right.
I'm super excited.
Yes.
Some of the movies, the Transformer movies, kind of, I don't know, teetered off a little bit for me.
Yes, and I'm so glad they got rid of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Because he was such an overactor.
Yes.
And so those scenes where he was like flipping out or whatever, those really bothered me.
Yes. So what do you think about Mark Wahlberg?
I love Mark Wahlberg.
I love all of his movies.
Like he's in the same category as The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, where they can do no wrong to me.
Right. What I love about this Bumblebee movie is that he's back to being a slug bug. Shit. Because when the movie came out, he was a Camaro.
Yeah.
But it kind of made sense because you're like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool. But now with this movie, it's going back to the 80s because there's a mixtape that's in there, so it goes back to the 80s, and he's a Beatle. It's the 80s, baby. So he's a Beatle, back to being a Beatle, and I'm curious, like how is he on Earth? When does he lose his voice? This will all be interesting, I hope, during the movie.
So I'm excited for the movie. I like the Transformer movies, even though they get a lot of slack for being corny. They are corny, and so I expect them to be corny. So.
Yeah, they're
it doesn't
giant
bother
robots.
me when it's corny.
They're robot aliens.
I know, right? Like, how realistic do you want to be in this?
So yeah, exactly. So those are some of the movies coming out that we're excited for coming out. But you mentioned Stan Lee.
Yes.
So I looked at some information on Stan Lee. Obviously, he was not born Stan Lee.
He wasn't.
He's not. You might think, is he a Chinaman? But no, he's a Jew. So his born name was Stanley Lieber. So Stan Lee, right? Stan.
Oh, okay.
But where did Stanley come from? You're asking in your head.
Your superpowers are faster than I can think.
So what it was that he originally wanted to write the Great American Novel. That's what his main goal in life was. The Great American Novel. Okay. I don't know if that means he wanted to come up with one, or if there was like I don't know what that meant, but it was in the Wikipedia page. So he started working in comic books, obviously, because he wanted to be a writer. But he was afraid that when he started contributing to the comics, he was afraid that if he put his name down, he might not get future work, maybe from publishers, because they're going to say, "Oh, you're just a comic book writer, not a novelist."
So that was just his alias.
His moniker, yeah.
Okay.
His moniker. So then he took his name, Stanley, and Stan Lee. Later, obviously, he went down that path career-wise, and he legally changed his name in the future to Stan Lee. So it is his legal name now, but it wasn't his born name.
Interesting fact.
Right? So
I did not know that.
I thought that was pretty interesting. So he died last week at the age of 95.
Yeah, he lived a long, fruitful life.
Yeah, and I guess his wife passed away 2017, so not too long ago.
That happens a lot with elder married couples.
Yeah, like when they've been together for a long time. They were married for a long time, had 2 kids. And so she passed away last year, and then he's been struggling with his health, because I know he was supposed to come out here to Fan X or Comic Con a couple times, and he had to postpone or cancel because of his health issues. Yeah. So that's very unfortunate, because we love him. He's created some great characters. I don't have all of them. I just have a few here that he's more notable for, which obviously the most notable one for him would be Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. Those are probably the most notable.
And many of you know Spider-Man is my favorite.
Yeah, he is your favorite.
Stan Lee kind of created him.
He also co-created Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, the X-Men team, Daredevil, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. He also co-created Falcon. So Falcon is one of the Avengers, but he was actually the first African-American superhero. Then obviously Black Panther was the first African superhero.
Straight from Africa.
But one of my favorite characters he helped create was Stripperella. Remember that?
Tell me more.
You don't remember that? It was on Spike.
Red?
It was on Spike TV. It was a cartoon with Blonde Shell from Baywatch.
Pam Anderson?
Yes. She played the voice.
Why don't I not? I never watched this.
What? You didn't watch it?
No.
You remember Spike TV?
Yes.
It was like the man's
Is that
channel.
still on? Is there still Spike TV?
No, it's gone. But it was like geared towards that's the man's channel.
Right. That came out like early 2000s.
And in fact, the Man Show was on it and stuff like that. But he created a show called Stripperella, and she was a stripper superhero. But it was a cartoon, and Pam Anderson played the voice.
It sounds so familiar to me, but I've never watched it. That's hilarious. Maybe I'll YouTube it and watch it later.
Stripperella. So I actually don't even remember really. It was like one of those things where I got home late at night and I was drunk and I watched it and I laughed about it while I ate food. and then obviously he became very famous because he made appearances and a ton of Marvel movies.
Yes, that was the best thing of watching a Marvel
every MCU movie and then a few other movies before the MCU too.
What was your favorite cameo that he did?
Well, I'll tell you the first one people don't know about. It was the Hulk series from the 80s.
Oh, okay.
And Bruce Banner's on trial, and he was one of the jurors.
Yes.
And I saw it. Did you see that? Because I saw it. And he always has like this charisma about him. So even in that trailer, they pan the jurors, and he like is like he just seems like, what's going on? he has such a good personality. I mean, he's known for he had a funny personality. He had tinted glasses that he always wore. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't miss him. One of my favorites you asked.
Yes.
Let me think. Do you have one in mind?
Yes, I have a favorite.
Okay.
It is in the first Deadpool movie.
Okay.
When he's the DJ in the strip club.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
He was the DJ.
Because this was like Marvel going into the R-rated scene. And like they just came out with the R-rated Logan.
Okay.
And then in this one, the R-ratedness in Deadpool, they're actually in the strip club. There's titties out. And,
yeah, he's the DJ.
And there's Stan Lee as the DJ announcing
makes an
the
announcement.
Girls. That was like, Stan Lee, you're the man.
That's pretty funny. I mean, I liked because in those cameos, sometimes he played himself as Stan Lee, and then sometimes he played a character. One example, or one that I liked was I think it was the first Iron Man. And Tony Stark walks out, and Stan Lee's wearing a robe with a couple of girls.
Like Hugh Hefner.
He looked like Hugh Hefner from the back. And he goes, "Looking good, Hef." And Stan Lee looks around like I don't know I can't remember if he was playing himself or not, but that was a pretty good one.
That one was good. I remember that.
I liked. I think it was one of the Hulk movies, and he was a security guard with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh yeah, that was
because obviously Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk in the
Hulk.
series. So I can't remember which Hulk movie that one was.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I want to say it was the first one. I think it was the first one.
With Eric Bana? Mm-hmm. And it could be. I totally don't remember. But
because in the second one, when it was... what's his name? Oh, what the hell was his name? American History X.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. In that one, it starts off where he's like in another country because he left. He left the country, fled the country.
Oh, I actually know his cameo in that one. He drinks a soda.
And he starts. Yes. Yeah. He drinks the soda and he starts like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it must have been the Eric Bana one, the Hulk one. But I love to hear what your guys' favorite cameo of Stan Lee is, or your favorite memory of him. So you can comment obviously on our YouTube if you're watching, but you can also comment on our social medias, Buko Boys. Instagram, Facebook, or email us, along with if you've got some more ghost stories you want to share, bukoboyspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, and we'll read some very short, probably in the next coming episodes we'll read.
Yeah, we got some stories. We already got some stories, so we've got to share. People have emailed. People have actually come up and told us stories, commented on our social media. So we've got some stories. So we're gonna start sharing some. But yeah, so share any stories you got of Stan Lee too. That'd be awesome. I'm just kind of looking. I know we had a couple notes here.
So do you? We were talking about Netflix earlier.
Yeah.
There was a new episode or new season just came out of Narcos.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but I've heard
it is so
a lot of good
you
things
were
about
missing
it.
out. It is badass.
How many seasons are in it?
This is the third season.
Okay, I could catch up.
You could catch up real fast because
the third season's starting.
So the third season, they released the whole season.
Oh yeah, I mean, but the third season just released.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first two seasons pretty much followed Pablo Escobar. And then, now this third season is kind of now the Mexican cartels, how they're started, and the power they take. And right
Because
now,
is he arrested now?
yes. El Chapo. What's his name? Did I say El Chapo at first?
No.
Okay.
Pablo.
It's Pablo. So yes, Pablo's dead.
Okay.
And
Spoiler warning if you didn't know news.
yeah, if you guys don't know that, what
You know
happened
history.
in history, Pablo is dead.
Okay,
But, so this new season kind of shifting in power the Mexican cartels and the families that run them and their upcoming. And right now, El Chapo is in this series, but as of right now, he's just a driver.
Oh,
But
okay.
It'll show his rise to power.
Oh, interesting.
And then I'm sure the next season will be him in full control, and then him getting taken down probably.
One of the reasons why I'm scared to watch shows like this is
Because you're a drug lord.
I want to be. Like, I get attracted.
You want hippos in your
Oh,
yard.
I get attracted to that lifestyle easy.
You want your own plane to fly
that
you to
lifestyle,
Nicaragua.
for some reason, it attracts me. Obviously, I don't want to deal with it and get arrested, but like Sopranos, like I was like, oh, I could totally just be in the mafia.
Just sit at a strip club all day and count money.
So I could get into that. But you like the first two seasons.
Yes, and this season I'm like 3 episodes in so far, and it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. So some interesting stories. I actually had an appointment during the week.
Actually, you know what you just missed?
What?
Going back to the movie trailers, you big dummy.
What?
Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just going back. Sorry.
Okay.
You forgot something.
Yeah, so Toy Story 4 coming out. And I can't remember the trailer. I did watch the trailer, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I don't think there's an official
There's
trailer.
not an official trailer. It's more of
teasers.
just like, them
it's
playing
teasers.
around.
Yeah, that's what I don't remember. So, yeah, there's teasers about it. So, no trailer yet. But maybe that's why I didn't bring it up. Maybe when the trailer comes out, we can bring it up.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I was on an appointment, and the appointment was out in Park City.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where what's it called? Olympic Park, where the Olympic Park is.
Yes.
So that's open year round because they do training there for the athletes. Plus they do events there where they try to profit off of it. Like you can go down the slides on tubes. I think I'm not sure. I've never done it. But
yeah. So
I
think in the winter you can sled down them on tubes, and then in the summer it's like wet. And then you can go down them on tubes also.
Right. Yeah. So it looks fun. And then they have the museum there. And so I went up there, and it was just kind of late afternoon, and it was dead. It was dead up there. So I meet up with my client, and we're talking, and he says, "Hey, if you want, you can go ahead and walk around. Feel free to walk around, go to the museum, do whatever you want, but just know no one's going to help you. Everyone is really busy. They're in meetings." And I said, "Why? What's going on?" He said, "The Olympic Committee is here right now." So while I was there, the Olympic Committee was up there in Park City talking potential Olympics. And I'm super stoked.
I found out the easier way by watching the news. And that this was happening.
What's that?
I found out watching the news that this was happening. And then also that Utah, Park City, Utah, and Denver, Colorado are in the runnings right now to host the next winter. Not the next.
Yeah.
But what year?
They're hoping 2026 or 2030.
Okay.
Is what they're hoping for.
It's in the running it's pretty much out of Park City, Utah, and Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, a few have dropped out. Reno was the recent one to drop out. There was another one before that dropped out.
Reno's a dump.
I don't remember Reno, so I don't know. But
you're not missing anything.
I don't know the other one that dropped out, but Reno just dropped out recently. So now it's between Denver and Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. I actually hope we win that bid. I would love the Olympics again. 2002 Olympics was awesome. I want to talk about that for a minute. Now, do you remember the Olympics much? Did you get to enjoy it?
I didn't get to enjoy that much of it because at the time it came, I was about 18, 19, so I was not able to get into the bars or the concerts where all the action was. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get to enjoy it that much.
Were you working at OC Tanner with me?
Yes.
During the time? So we worked at OC Tanner.
Mm-hmm.
And OC Tanner made the medals.
The gold, silver, bronze medals.
And rings.
Yep.
For the athletes. So every athlete got a ring, and then obviously...
So during the whole medals. Olympic situation, there was a lot of traffic coming into OC Tanner. A lot of Olympic athletes that were coming in and touring the plant. And so who came like some at least what's that one figure skater? What's her name?
I want to say Mariguchi, but I could be saying that
I know
way wrong.
she's Japanese heritage. She's got a
Yeah.
Japanese name, and I cannot remember her name.
Yeah, I'm totally butchering her name, I'm sure.
And I think who didn't Apollo Ono come too?
Yep. So, I mean, rewind a little bit. When they first announced it, that we were going to be making the medals, they actually created a brand new room just for certain people. And they had to sign basically like quiet waivers. Like they couldn't talk about it. Only a certain amount of people were able to make the medals and the rings because only a certain amount of people could see the logos before it was publicly announced.
Okay.
So it was an exciting time because I
cool.
remember, it was so hush and big things were happening and
We
it was
felt like
cool.
we were part of it because
We
worked
did,
there.
we felt like we were part of it. I mean, in the whole
They
city.
gave us some cool stuff for like memorabilia. Like they gave us these
Yeah.
copper things that had to do with the Olympics on it. I remember that.
We got rings.
Mm-hmm.
We got rings. We got.
I don't remember what happened to mine.
I got mine upstairs. I still have mine.
I can't find mine.
We got a few things, but it was cool because the whole city was transforming too. We were redoing the freeways to make it better. We put designs along. Everything just started looking really
that
good.
has still been happening since 2002.
Yeah.
Like they haven't stopped.
Yeah,
It's like
that's the truth. They erected new buildings. Obviously, the Olympic Park where I was at, that was built for the Olympics in Park City. The Olympic Oval in Kearns was made for all types of skating. In fact, my daughter skates there, and I've seen Apollo Ono there, along with Derek. What's his name? But he won. He won some medals too. He actually kind of helps run the facility. But it was a cool time, and it was February 2002, and it was 2 months after my 21st birthday.
So you got to.
So you were 19,
Right.
I was 21, and I got to
to
enjoy
go
it.
to a little bit of things using your ID.
Yeah, I'll let you use my ID.
Yeah, but not. I didn't get to use it during that time.
Oh, I
was
mean,
a little bit later.
It was a good time. I mean, I remember we went out with my friends as much as possible. The bad news is like because it's 2 weeks long, and in the middle of it, I actually broke my toe.
That's right. You dragged that sucker out. You were in a wheelchair.
Well, because I
You were
couldn't.
using a cane.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. You can't put pressure on your toe, and I didn't get a cast. I was avoiding a cast, and I was avoiding surgery. Actually, is what I was avoiding, and so I couldn't walk around. I was on crutches, and walking around downtown during the Olympics it's impossible on crutches. So I actually rented a wheelchair one weekend, and it was worth it. It was awesome because I got to get into the front of things. Basically, I just put a blanket on. My friends wheeled me around.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, we enjoyed ourselves heavily during the Olympics.
I would like to see it come back, but I have a feeling it was just everything's gonna be so expensive. Remember all the stupid hats everyone wore? The Roots
It was like a
hats?
beret.
The beret.
It was a
And
beret.
everyone was pin trading.
That happens every Olympics, but it'll happen again for sure.
Oh yeah, it's all gonna.
Mom will have a good head start because she's got some.
Oh, she's
pins.
got all the pins already.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, for the OC Tanner, we got a couple pins. We could opt to buy this plaque of pins that was put together.
Right.
It was really cool. I didn't buy one. I know Mom got a couple, but
I don't got time
we
for
got a
that.
couple pins. One was because since OC Tanner was a sponsor and made it, we got a pin from that. I got a pin because I actually paid to get a brick.
Oh yeah, my name's on a brick.
Yeah, Gateway Mall down in Salt Lake. That was built around that time. I don't know if it was made for it. I'm not sure.
No,
but
it was just part of that. I think that was something else. Like you could just put money in to get your name on a brick to help them build that. I guess.
right. It was all part of the Olympics because I have a pin with the Olympic logo and
Interesting.
and donating for that. So my name is somewhere out there. And
I
then
remember Mom and Dad paid for one that has our names on it.
so my name's out there twice.
Good for you.
What else? I mean, so many awesome things were happening during the Olympics. I actually had tickets to go to the bobsled, but I couldn't go because I broke my toe, so I couldn't go out because you had to go across
Oh, you
and
have to walk across.
Yeah, and I didn't rent the wheelchair again, so I gave my ticket. Actually, I gave my ticket to Ezra. I gave my ticket to.
Beautiful, beautiful Ezra.
Okay. What's some of your favorite sports during the Olympics? Do you like winter or summer?
I like summer more.
You like summer more? I like them both. I actually like them both.
But when it comes to the winter, I like watching the snowboarding, like in the big half pipe.
Half pipe?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. But other than that, I don't watch that much of the Winter Olympics.
How about curling?
Sometimes curling's so boring. What are you
I like
talking
it.
about?
I like it.
That's like watching old people play shuffleboard on a cruise ship. That's so boring.
I like that one. I like bobsled. Like I got tickets for bobsled. I like bobsled.
I could watch bobsled, but it's not something I look forward to or like.
Okay.
But if it's on at the moment and I'm flipping through channels, I will watch it.
My favorite is hockey. I actually like hockey. I love hockey.
I would like hockey more if it actually, the times that I did try watching it, the fights broke out that people brag about. Like, I would watch the highlights. I remember every night watching the highlights from the news and seeing the fights in hockey. But the times that I actually paid to watch a game, nothing happens. It's the most boring game ever. And everyone say, oh man, usually there's like a couple fights here or a couple fights there. I'm surprised there wasn't anything. I'm like, this happens every time I try to watch hockey.
I like it. I mean, they're physical. They're constantly active. They're constantly moving. They're constantly hitting each other, and it's totally legal.
I like
Fights
hockey.
do break
it's
out.
just not my thing.
I love it. Go Sharks. So it's hockey season right now. But I would love a bid again in Salt Lake. I mean, if we could do 2026, that is 8 years from now, right? Mm-hmm. So that'd be awesome. Or even 2030. So that would be when's the next Olympics? Winter Olympics. Echo. When's the next Winter Olympics?
The Summer Olympic Games are scheduled to start in Tokyo, Japan on Friday, July 24th, 2020 and end on Sunday,
2020, so 2022.
2020.
Okay.
The 2022 Winter Olympic Games are scheduled to start in Beijing, China on Friday,
Beijing.
February
The next
4th,
one.
2022 and end on Sunday, February 20th, 2022.
All right.
So now you know.
Alexa. All right. So I guess it was just this year we had the Winter Olympics. That's right. Earlier this year. I do remember now. So 2022 is the next one, Beijing. Alexa just told us 2022, and then 2026 would be awesome. That would be the next one, or 2030. So that's coming up pretty quick. That'd be awesome. We're basically ready. They'll probably, I'm sure, just do. Actually, the Olympic Oval, they're already doing touch-ups on it right now. They're actually doing maintenance on it, and they're actually expanding it.
That'd be cool.
So maybe that might help. I don't know. If maybe that would help the bid, but I'd be excited. What would you want to do? Would you want to go to any events?
I would go to some events.
Where'd you go to?
Probably maybe like some ice skating races.
The speed skating?
Speed skating, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. And then a half pipe. Like
Netherlands kicks ass at those.
So some of the more high paced, even a bobsled. I go to the bobsled. Some of the faster paced.
I'm gonna go to as many as I can.
Ice volleyball. Go to an ice volleyball game.
If they had it, I'd do it. Yeah. I mean, my daughter ice skates like I mentioned, so I'm sure she'd want to go. So we'll probably all go to some figure skating or speed skating. Yeah. I hope it comes. I'd be excited.
I would like to be here for that. I don't think I'd go out of town for it though. But if it was here, I would definitely be a part of it and do activities.
I mean, bring a ton of revenue back to Utah too. Ton of revenue with people traveling in. I heard that went really well. Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, that's a good time for Uber and Lyft to cash in.
Oh,
if you're a driver,
definitely. It's already like that in California. Everywhere I go in California, everybody has an Uber and Lyft sticker on their car. Like, you'll be at a stoplight.
We were mentioning that.
Yeah, and out of the 5 cars, there are 3 of them will have stickers on them.
Yeah, as drivers.
So there's some news stories I heard.
Okay.
One being exciting. I'll tell you that one. It's a new cereal.
Okay.
Tell me how much you like cereal.
I had it for breakfast this morning. I love cereal. I almost dropped the F-bomb about how much I like cereal.
And how much do you like candy?
I love candy.
Now
I just had white chocolate M&M peanuts just now, and it was delicious.
Imagine having Sour Patch Kid cereal.
No, I'm not so excited.
I'm excited.
Why?
Because I love both. I love cereal and I love candy, especially. I was eating Sour Patch Kids last night.
Is it going to be sour?
It can't not be sour.
Because this is why I bring it up. I don't know about you, but when I eat sour things, I sweat.
Okay.
Do you?
If it's especially sour, then yeah, but maybe if I'm outside.
I'm starting to perspire thinking about it. That's how it is.
God.
And I looked it up. I looked it up. 'Cause I'm like, is this normal? Like, am I the only one that sweats when I eat sour things?
I'm like that with
A lot
hot
of
and
people-
sour, just depending on my surroundings, I guess.
What depends on your surroundings?
Like if
Like if you're in a freezer or not?
If I'm in long sleeves and restricted clothing, like
Okay.
that, and I eat something hot or sour,
Okay.
and lights are beating down on me, there's a high probability I will bead some sweat.
But just like if you open a pack of, like you said, Sour Patch Kids, you had them
but
last
eating
night,
them last
you didn't
night,
sweat.
not at all.
I would sweat. And so
You
I
have
looked it up.
problems.
A lot. No, I looked it up. A lot of people do
Have
that.
these problems?
A lot of people do it. Yeah, a lot of people sweat when they eat sour things.
Crazy.
Yeah. So like I'll eat and I'm like, I have to like wipe the back of my head.
Jeez, get
Yeah,
you
so
a
it's,
squeegee along with that
what's
Sour
that?
Patch. Get you a squeegee.
Exactly. So I'm not so excited about this cereal anymore.
When it comes out, I'm gonna buy it and
Okay.
we will try it on the show.
Is it going to be a mix of all the flavors or going to be one flavor?
It looks like it's a mix of all of them,
Okay.
like your Fruit Loops,
Hey, for this, but sour.
but sour and shaped like the kids.
It's going to be shaped like the candy.
Uh-huh.
I might just eat it out of the box. Maybe
I would do both.
grab a handful and kind of munch on it because it's going to have that cereal texture versus
Mm-hmm.
the gummy texture.
Right?
I kind of want some sour candy right now, though. Even though I sweat, I do love sour candy.
So-
Do you like sour watermelon ones?
Of course, I love sour
they're
watermelons.
so
Those are
good.
like the best things
Those
ever
are the-
made.
Look, I'm sweating thinking about it.
Craziness, thinking I wouldn't. So another news story. This story was more of like a hell yeah news story.
Okay.
So I don't know if any of you have ever had your house broken into. You're gonna love this shit. So
We have.
we have, and so I love this shit.
And that's why I'm a big advocate for like home security because we lived in a nice neighborhood,
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in fact, you lived in a nice neighborhood currently and was broken
And
into.
yeah,
So
and that just goes to
I
tell
hate
you, you're not
thieves.
safe anywhere.
I hate thieves. So continue. Sorry.
So this guy gets home to find a broken window, and
In his house?
In his house,
Okay.
and like, holy shit, somebody's stealing all my stuff.
Where's this at?
El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
So the guy goes into his house, finds the guy.
Does he have a gun? Because he's from Texas.
Let's hope so. So he gets in there to find the guy that broke in, had cut himself so bad on the glass that he bled out in his house and died in his house.
Oh wow.
So
Good.
yes, that was awesome because you know what? As much as I don't want anyone to die, but if this guy's about to go rob this guy,
Yeah.
and karma just went up his leg and cut him real good.
Wow. Where did
Actually, I don't know if it was a leg or it cut deep. It either had to have
so
gotten
probably
a
when he was
wrist.
trying to crawl through.
When he was trying to
Ooh.
crawl through the broken window, he got
Jeez.
cut up so bad that he bled to death in the dude's house, and the dude found him dead. Little bit of justice. That's what you get, buddy. Like, he had it coming. You're gonna do some shit like that, you're lucky you didn't get killed by a gunshot.
Yeah.
So, I'm because of being broken into. Like, when I read that, I was like, hell yeah,
Well,
that's badass.
Growing up, we were broken into 3 times at our parents.
Right.
And then I told you, like, as soon as I moved in my house, I got a home security. And I told you, like, you should get one, man. Like, I got the hookup.
You know, and this was my 3rd house that I currently live in now, and out of my 3 houses, this is the nicest, safest location. The first one I lived in, I had an alarm system because I was in the ghetto,
Yeah.
right in West
Yeah.
Valley, right in the
Yeah.
thick of it. So, moved into a better neighborhood. I did not get a security system in that house, but it was still a good. I should have, but I never had any issues. Luckily, get into this house. It is even more of a more upscale neighborhood, and thought I was safe, but nope.
That's where they go.
Come to find out, there's been a lot more break-ins in my neighborhood with similar people, like in their townhomes in a position similar to mine.
Yeah.
So they've been targeting that.
Oh,
You
interesting.
know what I mean?
Maybe we should.
know,
I got the hookup, so reach out to me. Actually, kind of talking about the news and the break-ins and everything, I just saw a story. I tagged you in it, but it was a company in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
And what they did for Christmas, instead of the traditional bonus or turkey or whatever, they let each employee pick out a handgun
That's awesome.
for Christmas.
I would love that.
And the owner's response was, "We want our employees to feel safe."
And I love that idea.
Yeah.
So when it comes to gun laws and all that crap, don't want to be political. I'm all for gun owners owning guns as whatever guns they want. I'm all for that.
Me too.
I'm just against these background checks not looking for mental issues before letting somebody pass a background check.
Yeah.
I think there's significant things that they should stop certain people from owning guns. I mean, if they get a gun the illegal way, they're going to get their hands on a gun no matter what. But they
Yeah,
can
you can get
stop.
their hands no matter what.
They can stop the sale of a gun to somebody who has certain medical conditions that should probably not own guns.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a concealed permit. I carry very frequently a gun on me, and I took a course for that. And something in the course, I think this would be good for every gun owner to take any type of course, because one thing that I took, even though you're using your gun for self-defense, is so important to be aware of what's kind of in the background, because even though you might have a target in sight,
There's something behind it.
there's something behind it or someone behind it. And so that was something I learned in my concealed class that I really liked. A couple other things they taught me were like, keep your hands off the trigger until you think you're going to use it. Certain things like that I think would be very beneficial for every gun owner to take a course of that type. Because even though you have it for self-defense, you use it for safety reasons, you don't want to inflict harm unnecessarily on an innocent
Right,
person.
and that's where I can see both sides of political issues when it comes to that.
I do
'Cause it's
too.
like,
I totally do.
yes, there should be some stricter gun laws, but they should not ban guns.
No.
No, because guns aren't the ones doing the harm. It's the person pulling the trigger.
I'm not against the stronger gun laws either. I have nothing to worry about. But
Right.
if you want to take my gun, you're gonna have a hard time doing it for sure.
Exactly. And what I am not okay with right now is that with Prop 2 passing,
Yeah.
for people who want to obtain a medical card, in being that this is still a Schedule 1 drug and federalized,
Okay.
they're asking people to like give up their guns, just
I didn't hear
forfeit
that.
their guns.
Interesting.
So when they did that in Hawaii, when they legalized cannabis in Hawaii, and they told all the Hawaiians, okay, now you have to forfeit your guns, they all said, no, hell no, you try your damnedest, but you ain't going to get them.
Yeah.
The state said, fine, you guys can keep them for now until we get other word, but for now, go ahead and keep them.
Interesting.
But I think they're going to reclassify it now that more states, especially Utah, like it passing in Utah, holy shit.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know about that. That's interesting.
So there's a lot of gun owners out there and that need cannabis for medicine, and they're not going to give up their weapons. I know if I get a medical card, I'll never give up my weapons.
Right. I'll never give up mine.
So suck it.
Well, awesome, guys. Thanks for listening to another episode. Unless you have anything you want to share.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Right? Okay, perfect.
Don't worry about college so much, though.
Yeah,
All right.
that's your
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Talk
everybody.
to you next time.
Have a good one. Adios.